My son texted me goodnight at 9:12 p.m., and I almost didn't think anything of it because he's 15 and barely says 2 words to me most days. But something about it made me pause because he never texts goodnight. He just disappears into his room. So I texted back, "Goodnight, love you," and there was no reply, which was normal. Except a second later I saw the typing bubble appear, then disappear, then appear again, and then nothing. And that's when I got up and walked to his room and found the door open, the bed empty, and the window pushed open with the screen popped out. And right as my brain was trying to catch up, my phone buzzed and he texted, "Sorry, meant to say I'm sleeping over at Adam's." And my stomach dropped because my son does not have a friend named Adam, not one he's ever mentioned. And more than that, he doesn't casually inform me of plans. He argues, forgets, negotiates. He doesn't calmly notify me like that. So I typed back trying to sound normal. "Oh yeah? Since when do you make plans without telling me first?" And after a long pause he replied, "Last minute it's fine." And that word fine didn't sound like him at all. So I asked for the address and it took a full minute before he sent it. An address I didn't recognize. And when I asked if Adam's mom was home he said, "Yeah, way too fast." So I called him and he picked up after one ring and said, "Hey, in this flat." Careful voice like he was reading off something. And I said, "Hi baby, you okay?" And he said, "Yeah, I told you I'm at Adam's." And I grabbed a pen with shaking hands and said, "Remind me which one Adam is again." And he paused before saying, "From school," which is not something he would ever say. And when I asked to speak to Adam he said he was in the shower. And when I asked for his mom he said she was busy. And in the background I heard something shift, like movement, like someone else was there. And I felt this cold wave wash over me as I scribbled on a notepad called police track his phone and slid it to my husband, who immediately grabbed his keys and left. And I kept my voice steady and said, "Okay, listen, I'm gonna drop off your hoodie, it's cold." And he snapped, "No, you don't need to come. Too fast, too sharp." And that's when I knew he was scared because he never talks to me like that. So I said, "It's no trouble, I'm already getting my keys." And he started to protest and then cut himself off. And I heard it. A man's voice in the background whispering, "Hang up." And my heart started pounding so hard I could barely think. So I said quickly, "Stay on the phone with me, tell me about your day." And he said, "I'm tired." And I said, "I know, just talk to me." And he started giving these short, empty answers while I rushed to my car. And I asked, "Are you alone in the room?" And he hesitated before saying yeah. And I knew it was a lie. So I started the engine and said, "I'll be there in 10 minutes." And he said again, "Don't come," but his voice cracked this time and then, very quietly, like he didn't want anyone else to hear, he said, "Okay, can you hurry?" And I pressed harder on the gas as I heard the man's voice again, louder now. "Who are you talking to?" And my son said, trying to sound normal, "My mom, she just talks a lot." And then there was a sudden noise, like a struggle, and my son inhaled sharply. And I said, "Put me on speaker." And after a pause there was a click. And I said loudly, "Hi, this is his mom, I'm on my way right now." And there was silence before the man said close to the phone, "That's not necessary." And I tightened my grip on the wheel and said, "Oh, it is, I'm already outside," even though I wasn't yet. And instantly I heard movement, urgency, something changing. And my son said, "Mom." And then the line went dead. And I turned onto the street and saw the house with the lights on and no police yet. And I didn't think, I just ran, slamming into the door again and again until it burst open. And inside I saw my son being dragged toward the hallway by a man I had never seen before. And the look on my son's face when he saw me is something I will never forget because he just broke and screamed, "Mom." And I grabbed a metal lamp and swung it as hard as I could and the man went down instantly. And I pulled my son and ran out of the house just as police cars came screeching onto the street. And later they found another boy locked in a back room with the same story, fake messages, fake plans, the same setup. And hours later, sitting in the car with my son still shaking beside me, I finally asked, "How did you know to text me like that? The good night, the weird answers. Why didn't you just say something was wrong?" And he looked at me, eyes red, voice small, and said, "I tried." But he was right there. And I swallowed and said, "So how did you know I'd understand?" And he stared down at his hands for a second before saying, "Because you know all my friends, Mom."